We have a special guest. We're going to go to the home office of OLSHF staff member Melinda Rhodes, who's going to talk to us a little bit about hearing. One of the reasons why helmets were developed was to protect our ears, right? In fact, that inventor had cauliflower ear, so he invented the helmet. Melinda, you ever had cauliflower ear before?
I can't say that I have, Doug.
I'm glad to hear that. Melinda, thank you for joining us today. And why in the world are you on a beautiful Super Saturday joining us? Is it to tell us a little bit about hearing loss? Why don't you take it away?
Sure. Thanks. And hello, everybody. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. And thanks, Doug, for the introduction. So a few weeks back, I had the pleasure of sitting down virtually with Dr. Todd Lansberg, one of our amazing hearing providers who partners with our ROAR Hearing Assistance Program. And he shared some great information about hearing loss. Let's take a moment and we'll check out a bit of our conversation that day to learn about the signs and effects of hearing loss. So take it away, John. Today we're going to be talking about our ROAR Hearing Assistance Program. I have a really special guest with me, and I'd love to introduce him. His name is Dr. Todd Lansberg. He's an owner and clinical audiologist at South Coast Hearing Center in Coos Bay, Oregon.
It's a pleasure to be speaking with you for all the contributions the Lions Club has done over the years. So this is just some statistics on hearing loss that I pulled out that I thought you would find very interesting. So roughly about 38 million Americans suffer from some form of hearing loss. The big statistic that I want you to take away from this slide is on average, it takes about 7 years for a person to seek treatment. The people I am seeing in the office now tend to come in a little more frequently because they're starting to realize that technology is getting better, so they're more inclined to try hearing aids.
I'm hoping that you'll chat a little bit about the signs of hearing loss, since some of our audience members may have experience with this or know folks who are experiencing hearing loss.
These are some of the signs of hearing loss that I am asking them questions about. Difficulties in background noise is a big one. A lot of people have troubles in restaurants, in a lot of challenging listening environments. Turning up the TV and the phone and the radio are very, very common. Withdrawing from conversations is a big one. Avoiding friends and family because of the fear of having to ask them to repeat things. So how hearing loss affects your life? If one has early stages of dementia and hearing loss, a hearing aid will help stimulate the ear in the brain. Now, it is important to know it's not going to cure dementia. It's solely going to help stimulate the brain to reduce the progression of the dementia. With the ROAR program and these events, really the most interesting part is the friends and family that bring the patients in. They actually receive the most joy from the events because they are the ones communicating with the person that I am fixing. And it makes their life 10 times easier because they're not having to adjust their lifestyle to the person with the hearing loss.
It's so true. I'd mentioned this before, that when I first started working with this program, I thought it really only affected the person who was suffering from hearing loss. And then I realized it affects the people around them so much. And like you said, Dr. Lansberg, it's a joy for me to participate in our clinics that you do, because while you're assisting the client, the patient, I get the joy of looking over and seeing the wife, the sister, the daughter, and their face light up when they realize their loved one can hear you. Even when you turn your back, I love that trick you do. You turn your back and you say something, "What are you going to have for dinner tonight?" "Yep." And they say, "Oh, I'm probably going to have spaghetti." And their wife or their, loved one goes, "Oh, you heard him." It's kind of amazing. Thanks, John. Gosh, it was so much fun getting to chat with Dr. Todd, and I hope you all will be on the lookout for more informative specials where we're raising awareness for hearing loss in our low-income assistance program. You know, the global pandemic has been brutal for everyone, but especially for folks who suffer from hearing loss and are having to go without care. As Dr. Todd mentioned, hearing impairment can cause feelings of isolation and depression, especially if untreated. So at this time, thanks to generous funds gifted to our organization through the closure of the Eugene Hearing and Speech Center, and thanks to the Compassionate Lions in Lane County, every person who applies and is eligible through our hearing assistance program will only have to pay half of the fees for their hearing aids, as these generous funds in Lane County will automatically cover the other half. And if someone is truly impoverished or fits the requirements for additional assistance, the other half of their hearing aid fees will be covered. So this means that folks who go through this program at this time will pay at most $75 per hearing aid, and for many, they will pay nothing for their hearing aids. We've received feedback from folks letting us know that, they've lost loved ones, their jobs, their insurance, and that this opportunity to get high quality hearing aids is the beacon that they needed during this dark time. And the Lions Clubs who offer assistance also feel like they get to give back. And that, as the Lions Club members in the audience know, is what helps keep a Lion motivated and fulfilled. There are also funds available through a grant received by the Oregon Community Foundation, which will step in and help the Lions Club cover their hearing aid fitting fees that they pay to our partnering provider, making it even more accessible to give someone the gift of help of hearing during this tough time. And speaking of providers, written into the guidelines for this relief fund, each provider will actually receive a $50 stipend per person to help offset the additional money that they're spending on PPP and the loss in business due to limiting appointments to keep their staff and patients safe. So if your club would like help, reaching more people in your community and offering hearing assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and together we can find a way to make that happen. Thank you all for all you do, and I can't wait to visit with each of you in person. I'm gonna put it back over to you and Brad and Doug there. Thank you so much.